Chapter 4. And the man had connection with Eve his wife, and she became with child and gave birth to Cain, and said, I have got a man from the Lord. Then again she became with child and gave birth to Abel, his brother. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a farmer. And after a time, Cain gave to the Lord an offering of the fruits of the earth. And Abel gave an offering of the young lambs of his flock and of their fat, and the Lord was pleased with Abel's offering, but in Cain and his offering he had no pleasure. And Cain was angry and his face became sad. And the Lord said to Cain, Why are you angry? And why is your face sad? If you do well, will you not have honor? And if you do wrong, sin is waiting at the door, desiring to have you, but do not let it be your master. And Cain said to his brother, Let us go into the field. And when they were in the field, Cain made an attack on his brother Abel and put him to death. And the Lord said to Cain, Where's your brother Abel? And he said, I have no idea, am I my brother's keeper? And he said, What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood is crying to me from the earth. And now you are cursed from the earth, whose mouth is open to take your brother's blood from your hand. No longer will the earth give you her fruit as the reward of your work, you will be a wanderer in flight over the earth. And Cain said, My punishment is greater than my strength. You have sent me out this day from the face of the earth, and from before your face, I will be a wanderer in flight over the earth, and whoever sees me will put me to death. And the Lord said, Truly, if Cain is put to death, 7 lives will be taken for his. And the Lord put a mark on Cain so that no one might put him to death. And Cain went away from before the face of the Lord, and made his living place in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. And Cain had connection with his wife, and she became with child and gave birth to Enoch, and he made a town, and gave the town the name of Enoch after his son. And Enoch had a son Irad, and Irad became the father of Mahaziel, and Mahaziel became the father of Methuselah, and Methuselah became the father of Lamech. And Lamech had 2 wives, the name of the one was Adah, and the name of the other Zillah. And Adah gave birth to Jabal, he was the father of such as are living in tents and keep cattle. And his brother's name was Jubal, he was the father of all players on instruments of music. And Zillah gave birth to Tubal-Cain, who is the father of every maker of cutting instruments of brass and iron, and the sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. And Lamech said to his wives, Adah and Zillah, Give ear to my voice, you wives of Lamech, give attention to my words, for I would put a man to death for a wound, and a young man for a blow. If 7 lives are to be taken as punishment for Cain's death, 77 will be taken for Lamech's. And Adam had connection with his wife again, and she gave birth to a son to whom she gave the name of Seth, for she said, God has given me another seed in place of Abel, whom Cain put to death. And Seth had a son, and he gave him the name of Enosh. At this time men first made use of the name of the Lord in worship. Chapter 5. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day when God made man, he made him in the image of God, male and female he made them, naming them man, and giving them his blessing on the day when they were made. Adam had been living for 130 years when he had a son like himself, after his image, and gave him the name of Seth. And after the birth of Seth, Adam went on living for 800 years, and had sons and daughters, and all the years of Adam's life were 930, and he came to his end. And Seth was 105 years old when he became the father of Enosh, and he went on living after the birth of Enosh for 807 years, and had sons and daughters, and all the years of Seth's life were 912, and he came to his end. And Enosh was 90 years old when he became the father of Kenan, and after the birth of Kenan, Enosh went on living for 815 years, and had sons and daughters, and all the years of Enosh were 905, and he came to his end. And Kenan was 70 years old when he became the father of Mahalalel, and after the birth of Mahalalel, Kenan went on living for 840 years, and had sons and daughters, and all the years of Kenan's life were 910, and he came to his end. And Mahalalel was 65 years old when he became the father of Jared, and after the birth of Jared, Mahalalel went on living for 830 years, and had sons and daughters, and all the years of Mahalalel's life were 895, and he came to his end. And Jared was 162 years old when he became the father of Enoch, and Jared went on living after the birth of Enoch for 800 years, and had sons and daughters, and all the years of Jared's life were 962, and he came to his end. And Enoch was 65 years old when he became the father of Methuselah, and after the birth of Methuselah, Enoch went on in God's ways for 300 years, and had sons and daughters, and all the years of Enoch's life were 365, and Enoch went on in God's ways, and he was not seen again, for God took him. And Methuselah was 187 years old when he became the father of Lamech, and after the birth of Lamech, Methuselah went on living for 782 years, and had sons and daughters, and all the years of Methuselah's life were 969, and he came to his end. And Lamech was 182 years old when he had a son, and he gave him the name of Noah, saying, Truly, he will give us rest from our trouble and the hard work of our hands, because of the earth which was cursed by God. And after the birth of Noah, Lamech went on living for 595 years, and had sons and daughters, and all the years of Lamech's life were 777, and he came to his end. And when Noah was 500 years old, he became the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Chapter 6. And after a time, when men were increasing on the earth, and had daughters, the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were fair, and they took wives for themselves from those who were pleasing to them. And the Lord said, My spirit will not be in man forever, for he is only flesh, so the days of his life will be 120 years. There were men of great strength and size on the earth in those days, and after that, when the sons of God had connection with the daughters of men, they gave birth to children. These were the great men of old days, the men of great name. And the Lord saw that the sin of man was great on the earth, and that all the thoughts of his heart were evil. And the Lord had sorrow because he had made man on the earth, and grief was in his heart. And the Lord said, I will take away man, whom I have made, from the face of the earth, even man and beast and that which goes on the earth and every bird of the air, for I have sorrow for having made them. But Noah had grace in the eyes of God. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was an upright man and without sin in his generation. He went in the ways of God. And Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And the earth was evil in God's eyes and full of violent ways. And God, looking on the earth, saw that it was evil, for the way of all flesh had become evil on the earth. And God said to Noah, The end of all flesh has come, the earth is full of their violent doings, and now I will put an end to them with the earth. Make for yourself an ark of gopher wood with rooms in it, and make it safe from the water inside and out. And this is the way you are to make it. It is to be 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. You are to put a window in the ark, a cubit from the roof, and a door in the side of it, and you are to make it with a lower and second and third floors. For truly, I will send a great flow of waters over the earth, for the destruction from under the heaven of all flesh in which is the breath of life. Everything on the earth will come to an end, but with you I will make an agreement, and you will come into the ark, you and your sons and your wife and your sons' wives with you. And you will take with you into the ark 2 of every sort of living thing, and keep them safe with you, they will be male and female. 2 of every sort of bird and cattle and of every sort of living thing which goes on the earth will you take with you to keep them from destruction. And make a store of every sort of food for yourself and them.